The O-1A and the EB-1A are both extraordinary ability visas. However, the O-1A is non-immigrant, meaning that you get 3 years to live and work temporarily in the US, whereas the EB-1A gives you access directly to a green card and a permanent residency. So what are the differences here?
I think the main difference is actually how USCIS adjudicates the O-1 versus the EB-1. Now, given that the O-1 is a non-immigrant visa and gives you 3 years and then you can indefinitely renew, obviously the bar is lower there. When I say the bar is lower, what I mean by that is maybe you can go in with 3 criteria, maybe that will be sufficient. Compare that to EB-1, even though the regulations say, minimum 3 criteria, the likelihood of, getting that case approved with 3 criteria, it's pretty low. So I think obviously because the EB-1 will lead you to a green card, the bar is much higher there in terms of the type of evidence, how many criteria you have to satisfy, and how USCIS adjudicates the case as a whole.
Yeah, and also beyond the non-immigrant versus immigrant, with the O-1 there's also a job, right? So that also is another.
Yes, that's another difference. So the O-1 is not self-sponsored. You have to have either a company sponsoring you, or you can create your own company, and that company files on your behalf, or you can have an agent.
Yeah, and even though we've seen adjudications and on both of them, USCIS looks at your case as a whole. With EB-1, there's the final merit. That is kind of a formal one. What's about that?
Yeah, so the final merits for EB-1 is, as I like to say, it's kind of like a glorified summary of all the criterias. In addition to everything else that you have done professionally that is relevant to the EB-1, speaking at conferences, sitting on advisory boards, judging the work of others, which is also a criteria, and just generally being involved in the field and having that recognition from the field. Now, with the O-1, we have instead of final merits, they call it totality determination. It is kind of similar, the idea is similar, but you don't have to provide that much evidence in the O-1 context. So that way it becomes a little easier.
So we could say that every EB-1 is a great O-1A candidate, but not every O-1A candidate is an EB-1A.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. So these are the main differences, and it's very normal for people that first get an O-1A to then evolve to an EB-1A. Sometimes they are ready, sometimes you need to do a bit of work and improve your profile over time. So well within those 3 years, that's what we see the most. Like people come to the US on an O-1, maybe they have a great O-1A profile, but they are not just there yet for EB-1A. So while they get their first visa, they keep on working, improving, making their profile more public and getting more achievements. And then when you're finally ready, you go for the EB-1 and finally get your green card.